Welcome everyone. I am Rupali representing Vedabi Global Services. We are specialists in providing support and services in BI and EPM space. We are specialists in pre-sales support, health checkup and optimization, installation configuration, upgrade migrations, support and maintenance, end-to-end implementation. So today my webinar agenda is for Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition Key Performance Indicator KPI. So I'm going to discuss what is KPI in Obiee, how the KPI evaluated, general properties in a KPI, how the KPI uses in Obiee 11G, and creation of KPI in Obiee. So first of all, I am going to cover what is KPI in Obiee. So KPI is nothing but it's a measurement that defines and track the specific business goals and objectives, and that will be rolled up into the larger organizational strategies that requires monitoring and improvements and evaluations. So the organization strategies requires its improvements and evaluations and performances and monitoring. So KPI is a measurement for it. It will measures the performances, monitoring and evaluations. So and KPI, key performance indicators, which helps the organizations to quickly focuses on the activities and which will make the great impacts on the business performances, and also KPI which focuses the main activities for the business performances, we can say. And KPIs are nothing but is typically tracked over the time, and is a way to monitor the performance and drives the business decisions, and which helpful for them improve the performances the businesses. So it will mainly for to make the drive for the decisions, business decisions, and which improve upon the performances. In addition, KPI we can see normally are dimensionalized. So the dimensionalized means it can be analyzed by any number of defined dimensions attributes associated with the KPI. So we can say all about the KPI is nothing but it's the evaluation matrix that against the targets and alerts appropriate users to the agents, and we can say when the target value is not met, and it's mainly for to create the analysis from the KPI, and which will be added into the dashboard. And we can say analysis that created from the KPI, and it allow the users to drill into the different levels of details, and based on the KPI's dimensions. So uses the KPI to evaluate and monitor the performance of the objective. So we can say it monitors the performance, and that drive the business decisions and to improve the performances. So this is all about what is KPI in Obiee. And now I'm going to discuss how KPI evaluated. So KPI status and scores are determined by comparing its actual value against the thresholds and that you define. So KPI status, performance status of KPI is represented by the status icon, and which we assign for the each range. So we can say the KPI should be evaluated with the status icons. And for example, I'm just giving the example for the product sales KPI, in which high values are desirable. So you can define the ranges that describes in the table. So thresholds are the numeric value and that separates the ranges. So I have just added the one screen for the KPI evaluation. So evaluation range should be mentioned here, like and the threshold value that the user has defined the threshold value. Then is the naming conventions for the evaluation, and mentioned here the status icons. So value exceeding 1 to 5 means it will be the more than 1 to 5, or so it will be the naming as the ideal, and the status icons of the key performance indicators is like a blue square, and values between the 100 and 1 to 5 that indicates the good performances. So and mentioned here the threshold value should be defined 1 to 5. So for each the naming convention should be given a good, means it will give the good performances, and the status icons for it a gray square, and values between the 80 and 100. So in and the defined threshold is 100, so it is acceptable, and status icon should be the yellow square, and values between the 50 and 80 that indicates the poor performances we can see, and the threshold value that is mentioned, that is 80. So this naming convention is we can say it's a warning, and the status icon is a light red square, and the values which less than 50 it will indicate the it's a critical performances. So and defined threshold value is 50 and is below, then its naming convention should be the critical, and status icons that is dark red square. So how the KPI evaluated with and given is status icon and naming conventions. And so evaluations I have discussed in how to KPI evaluate it. So this is all about the KPI evaluations. Then now I'm going to discuss how the KPI uses in Obiee 11G. So it can be used in a analysis dashboard, which we can view the key performance interfaces which will be viewable for the users, and users can drill down into the detail and to understand why KPI may not be maybe off record, we can say. So it mainly for it can be used in the dashboard, and which allowing the users to view the KPI performances. And KPI can also be used to automatically trigger the alerts to specific users when the KPI showing the very critical status of performances level. So that time what happened, the KPI can be used for the to give the automatically trigger alerts as the status level as a critical. So and now KPI is also can be configured with another new features, and we can say it's a action link, so which allows the users to intimate the action based on the status of the KPI. So I'm just giving what actually the action links. Actions links are nothing but it's a reference of the another analysis, and it will send the email and keep up workflow or any other processes to assist and making KPI the basics for the actionable intelligence. So this is about the KPI uses in Obiee 11G, and just mention in the screen that is actionable intelligence agents and action over here. So this is about uses of KPI in Obiee 11G. Then now I am going to discuss the general properties in KPI. So there are several properties that are defined for each KPI. So here general properties for it, like a business owner, what are exactly the actual value, what is the target value, and the data format or mention here. So business owner is the owner ID or user ID, that person's responsible for the business performances of the KPI. So he's also having the ability to override the KPI statuses. So we can see here the business owner is the user's ID of the person, and which who's responsible for the business performances of the KPI. And here I mentioned in the screen, like the screen showing like actual value, target value. So actual value is a typical matrix or formula based on the matrix, which will be compared to the target value, means it mainly based on the formula. So in a apex is a square box, we can see the fx button that will be the that defines the formula for the actual value, and we can then it will be compared with the target value for to showing our actual value for the performances. So the target value is a value which can be compared with the actual value, and which will determine the status and the performances of the KPI. So the comparison between the actual and target value, which define the performances of the KPI. So this is a general property, and dimensionality is one of the main and very important property of the KPI, and it describes how the KPI value should be presented to the users for the analysis. Means is the option for the KPI, and it defines the KPI values for the users analysis, and dimensions are the categorization of the data. So here in the screen mention, like the name of the dimensions we can add by clicking on the add button, and we can also define the value in a value column. So this is about the dimensionality, and by clicking the add button I just mentioned in the screen, dimensions attribute can add it to the KPI. So dimensionality and name and its value. So uh, uh, here we can mention the like suppose I mentioned the dimension attribute time, products, customer region, and value not being mentioned here. So when the user says he want to see the number by something or something by they are defining the dimensions like uh, customer regions, products, time, and there are the columns of dimensionality screen that the values allows for specific dimensions, and not pin for the dimension entries. Pinning values allows for setting the specific dimension values, and it would be always be used for the filter data, and pin value which cannot be changed by the users. Then threshold screen is where the performance of the KPI against the target value is categorized. So the here mention the threshold screen and the performance of KPI against the target value categorization mentioned in the screen. Like, so KPI ratios which specifies the goal type like high, low, and target, and the series of entries that bucket the results into any number of status categorized based on the range of value. So in mention in the screen, we can say high value, low value, and is with target value is desirable, and functions effects is we showing the functions against the values, and the status, that is critical, warning, okay, warning, and critical. And you should be showing in the square bucket red, yellow, green. So this is, and KPS ratio specifies the goal type, high, low, target, and the series of entries of the bucket that results into the number of status categorizes based on the range of values. So is for example I'm showing here in the screen like the KPI which set the value more than above $2 million, that is okay, and between the $2 million and $1 million, it will be the warning, and below of $1 million it's a critical. So this is the status showing here, like this value is okay, and in a red box square we showing the okay, the status is okay. Then yellow box we showing the warning, and critical, showing the in a square red box. So this is about the KPI properties. Then next I'm going to discuss the creation of KPI. So here click on the KPI under the performance management. Just we need to log into the BI analytics, and we have to go in a new, and just under the performance actionable intelligence, under the performance performance management. Then just we can see here the scorecard, KPI watches. So we can create the KPI and set the actual value and target values from the subject area using the key button. We can see here itself you can define the functions, and calculations should be done using the key functions here. So thanks for participating in webinar. We will look forward to see you in the upcoming webinars for Obiee Global Services. Uh, Please contact us for any query related to BI and EPM space. To email and mobile numbers is available on the contact us slide. Have a great time. Thank you.